You said before the game that you guys have to take advantage of any opportunities that Skubal gives you. How much do you look back at that first inning, runners on first and second, nobody out, as missed opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, that's, he's as good as he gets. So, pressure him early like that, you hope you can cash in there, but it's also what makes him really, really good. I thought he was tough today. He had I thought his fastball was good, but, he's so unpredictable. He can throw that changeup or drop in a slider at any point. And again, you see that delivery and the deception that he creates with it. It just makes him hard to track. And he had a good day against us today.
16 retired in a row at one point in time for Skubal. Were you okay with the approaches? Just a matter of him having his A stuff?
Yeah, I mean, a couple times, we're probably a little aggressive early in the count. But at the same time, it's like, it's not the best thing to be falling behind aces. So, once he got a little bit of a lead there and really goes on the attack there, he put us on our heels a little bit.
On the flip side with Carrasco, what were you seeing there?
I mean, just, obviously they stung some balls against him. It's imperative that he really commands, all of it. He's got to have that elite command. He doesn't have a lot of margin, so and that's what he's done a good job of. And I felt like even at times today did a nice job with that. Handled the top of the lineup today pretty well. But he's got to be near the edges with that, the split change and the slider, and then strategically moving in the sinker and the four seam. So probably just too many in the heart that they were able to take advantage of and throw some extra base hits on them.
How difficult is that for a pitcher that kind of has to be almost perfect when they don't have the velocity anymore?
Yeah, I don't want to say he has to be perfect, but command is king, and he's got to put it where he wants. And I think for a lot of today he did, but there were clearly some mistakes that they put charges into.
How would you assess his development as a whole these first 2 weeks, the highs and lows that you guys have had?
I don't know if I see highs and lows. I mean, we haven't scored the last 2 days. I mean, we scored 3 or 4 or 5, and people talk about it as a low. I don't know that is. I mean, that's just not reality. It's a tough game to hit. We got shut down here these last really few days. Last day in Pittsburgh, Heaney, shut us down. I felt like a lot in those middle innings before we were able to rally late. Yesterday, I thought we had good at bats. We didn't put the points on the board. Didn't chase Mize, but I thought like we had the right at bats going. Today, Skubal got a lead and just, beat us, period. So, it's going to happen. A chance to salvage a road trip tomorrow and hopefully come out and get Max some runs and have a good trip home.
How was Hamilton?
Hammy was good. It was good to see him come in, first pitch hit, and then thought used his stuff well. Went through a couple tough lefties too. Thought it did a good job with his 2 and his 4 seam, changing that up, and he's able to, when he was behind Carpin there with the 2 seam to get to 3-2 and then 4 seam beat him away. That was good to see. Some good secondaries in there, so hopefully a good step for him and getting him kind of acclimated and going.
Bellinger feeling any better as the day went on?
Yeah, I think he felt a lot better during the game, and so he was available.